2023 is in full swing, and in December, I was pretty quiet on the hunt. I kind of cleared out a lot of the stuff that I did have. I just got it up, got it out of the way. I just couldn't be bothered with the sourcing, buying more. I just slowed right down and decided to have a few weeks off. Since then, I'm starting to pick it back up. Now this year, I am really pumped to get back into buying big and large amounts of stock. So if anybody has got some good stuff for sale at a good price, hear me out. But today, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up a few items which I've picked up this week. And I'm going to go through them with you. I want this one to be authentic because there's going to be a fail in there. Already, 2023, there's a fail. Well, it happens. And I'm going to talk through it and basically explain what goes on up here after you make a purchase that goes wrong. Because it was literally off its head. And I'm going to start with it and talk you through it. What's going on, Coggo? Couple of pickups to go to now. Now, a couple of legends did reach out to me on Instagram and sent me this lot that was on Facebook, and it looked great. I know why they would have sent it if they weren't local. Anyway, I got there and yeah, it wasn't as good as it first looked. So first lot picked up, there's a few broken ones and whatnot in there. I was aware of that. You can see it in the photo, but she's thrown in another box of, she didn't know what went with what, so hopefully some goodies in that. I don't know what'll be in there, but we'll go through that when we get home, mate. All right, let's go get this other pickup. So often if I'm picking up a bit of a local deal that I've found on Marketplace or Gumtree or one of those classified type places, I will have a bit more of a look around and see what else I can get. While I'm out and about, I like to do a big lap and see how many deals I can get at once if it's profitable. And there was another little lot of wrestlers that popped up for $30. So I thought I'd grab that too. So a good tip when you're doing pickups or garage sales, they've got a for sale sign at the front, usually means they are clearing stuff, and they may have stuff that they haven't actually listed yet that they want to get rid of. So that's always the perfect time to ask, have you got any more? Which I did, and I've ended up with a Switch and some games, so that's a bonus. So $100 for a Nintendo Switch. There's a couple of games in there, so that's the joys of asking the question, have you got any more? It's always my favourite one to ask. So that bag of wrestlers does look like it's in really good condition. That was $30. So I spent $130 out, picked up a Nintendo Switch, a couple of games, and also the wrestling figures. So we'll go through those properly at home and see if we will make a little bit of money on it. I always do ask, if I do pick up a deal, have you got anything else for sale along those within that category, or other stuff, the other sort of things I'm chasing. And a bonus with this one was that there was the for sale sign there, and I knew that they'd be probably clearing some stuff. So I did just pop the question.
Please, sir, I want some more.
And sure enough, she had a Switch there with a few games. It's nothing crazy, but it's extra, and it made the drive worth it. As I pulled that box out of the car, something bloody jabbed me in the hand. I don't know what the friggin' hell that is. It got me a good one. Mate, I love toys. So, I suppose I better have a quick look through this, eh? So the two lots that I went and got, been very wrestling heavy of late. Went and got it, but by Christ, Sid from Toy Story owned this.
Let's go home and play.
So I have been through it, and well, there's the Home Alone figures in there. These aren't vintage. These were a NECA production from 2017. So I do have all three of them. There's Kevin, got the gear off as well, and Harry. So hopefully their clothes are in here, but I mean, they'll probably do okay, but I loved Home Alone. It's honestly one of the only Christmas movies worth watching outside of, there was this movie that came out. It's a modern one. I can't remember the name of it. It was really, really good. When I find it, I'll link it above, but there was like a killer octopus in it or something. But anyway, I'm going off topic here. Let's have a look at this crap. So this is off its head, this deal. So Sid's just going hammer and tong on these toys. Everything at the bottom was missing heads. Well, he's all right, but what the hell? And then there's a bag of heads. And if they're not missing heads, they're missing arms. Like some of them were decent figures that probably fetch you $15-20 each. That's a Jeff Hardy without a head. It's an Elite too. This one you can't actually physically remove the head. It's probably only worth $15 if it's clean, but like, what the shit? It's just everything in he's all right. Ray's doing okay. No Hand Undertaker, whatever that is missing a head. R-Truth, like that's an Elite figure. Probably $25 in good condition, but he's got no shoes. That's another Elite. Like, I don't know what this guy was doing. I think he was off his head. But the whole lot, that's a Razor Ramon body with the Batista head on it, so he's replaced the head there. The rings will probably get me 20, 30 each, but if I knew it was going to be this bad, I wouldn't have bothered. So many just stuffed things. She said a couple were damaged, but oh mate, this is garbage. Which just reminds me that check everything, check it all before you get it. I don't know if she was aware, but I could go back and try and get my money back, but what's the point? I can sell a couple of things, get my money back. Shit happens, you win some, you lose some, but I show everything that I possibly can on here. I want to show the wins, the fails, and that's a fail. That's a fail. I didn't look at that one properly. I got excited, big box of toys. And yeah, I don't know, there's a couple that are in okay condition. Like, we've got a Jeff there, a bit of a random one. There's a Harley Quinn. I mean, I might go for $15 each or whatever. Is that the guy off Big Bang Theory? I don't actually know, Mezco. Who is that? So a couple of them are, this little box is same deal, just random accessories and whatnot. Some Loot Crate stuff. I assume, like, there's more heads in here. Got a Joker in there. Can only assume this guy did maybe two things, and that's either he was Sid from Toy Story and he just liked destroying things, or he made customs. And these are kind of his parts box, and maybe Mum wasn't aware. What in the shit? Alright, that might explain it. I think this guy did customs. Ooh, Kevin. Oh, no. That's weird. Righto, Kev. Yeah, it's such a weird box. Now, I appreciate everyone that reaches out to me and sends me these sort of things, and to the naked eye, it did look great. Turns out the majority of the box had been decapitated, de-armed, and all that sort of stuff, and so be it. There's a couple of things I did wrong. What did I do wrong? I didn't look at it when I was there. I just grabbed it, I paid her, I left. I didn't even haggle the price because I seen one of the figures on top that I know goes for $20, and we're on to a win here. Simple as that. Turns out it's probably way too much effort. If I looked through it, I probably wouldn't have bothered grabbing this for the $40. There's not going to be a lot of profit made. I could probably sell this lot on eBay for a fairly low price because people do custom builds. Simple as that. People do mock up their own. You'd get a little bit of money back for that. There's a few figures I'll part out. I might get $100 out of this. There's a couple of rings, you know. But essentially it's not even worth the effort. That was the problem with this one. I understand, for me, $40 on this, it's not a huge hit, so be it. Just kind of deal with it, simple as that. But I understand some people do this part-time where they sell stuff, and it could be they could be a single parent and it could be their full-time wage, and something like that could really take a bit of a hit and a bit of a toll on you mentally and financially, even if it is only a smaller figure. This would have hurt a lot more if it was a massive amount of money, but for the sake of $40, so be it. Take it on the chin and move on. I understand with stuff like this, it's hard to move on sometimes, and there's a couple of options. You can go back to the house. You can simply go back and demand your money back. But in saying that, I had every opportunity to go through that box while I was there. So to rectify this before there's an issue, I'd recommend, if any deal, you just have a quick look, whether it be video games, you know, they might have scratches or DVDs or something. The books might have damaged pages if you're getting books. There's just all sorts of different issues that there could be, and a lot of people try and flog stuff off on Facebook, don't they? So I do recommend looking through that stuff, which I didn't do, so that's on me. I could go back and try and get my $40. It's not worth my time. It'd take me 10 minutes to get there, 10 minutes back, maybe 10 to 15 minutes of shit talk, and there's what, 5, 6, 7 listings, $100, $200 I could list. So it's just easier for me not to even worry about it. Mentally, it could take that toll, but what else can you do? Absolutely nothing. Every now and then we slip up within our business. Nobody's perfect, simple as that. I got to take it on the chin. There's no point in dwelling on it, getting upset about it. I've just got to list more shit now, get my money back, simple as that. That's all I can really say about that. It is what it is. It's a fail, and we live and learn. That's it. But so there was 2 lots that I went and picked up. The other one, where I got the Switch, the wrestlers are a bit better. So I'll show you that. These are only $30. Quick look. Oh no, Hulk's missing a bloody. What's going on today? The ones I looked at were okay. So I got my boy Sean there, we've got Razor Ramon, some older ones. The WCW figures do go well. You know, you're getting 15 plus your shipping on them. That's a WCW Rey Mysterio. That's probably $10. The Goldberg. We've got another Hogan there. Sting, he's got his jacket. That's probably going to get me 25 at a guess. Like, I'm really guessing that. KO. Basic AJ. Bobby Lashley. The Rock always just sells. So that's just a basic little lot there. In the car, I said the Switch was one of the lights. It's actually not. It's a neon. I didn't actually fully look at it properly. It's one of the sort of first ones. So it's one of those grey neons. I think it might be an earlier one. I'll have to check the serial number on that. And there's a few games there, but for $100, I mean, that's probably going to get me a couple of hundred. And then the games will probably get me 150. They are pretty standard ones, but I don't know what Crash is worth. Mario Kart's about $50. Minecraft's probably 30, and I'd say the Pikachu game would be about 50. So they should go fairly quick, you'd think. So $100 on that little lot there. I think I'll get probably a couple of hundred out of that. We'll see how we go. So the first bulk purchase of 2023. Something I said I probably never would do again. That's VHS. If you go back to my very, very early videos, I did buy a bulk lot of VHS for very cheap, and yeah, I made money on it, but there was so many slow movers, and it was kind of frustrating. A lot of them had been written on. Blue in the Face. Is that a porno?
Why has he written his name on it? I'm really getting fed up with seeing old mate's name on everything.
And it just became overwhelming. A lot of stuff I ended up sort of giving away because it was taking up so much room. A lot of this will be slower sellers, but it's super cool, and there's some really good stuff in there. And I'm going to quickly go through them. I know this isn't everybody's cup of tea, but the artwork on these are fantastic. There's a lot of big box stuff. So I'm going to actually set them up, be a little bit of an Instagram nuffy, do a photo, and I'll give you a quick flick through them. So a lot of these older ones, like the cover art on these tapes is so good. 99 cents that was. I actually don't know the value of these exactly. whether it's much at all, but have a look at them. These are bloody cool. We've got the clamshell there. I've got a few clammies. There's a lot of these sort of small box things. Something I did learn from my good buddy Robbie, the VHS thrifter, back in the day was a lot of these tapes actually feature music on them that you will not see on the re-released DVDs or the WF app or what's on Foxtel now because of copyright reasons or whatever. So people purely buy these to watch it with the original music. I don't really know the full history behind that, but yeah, that's why some of these are worth a little bit more than others. And people love the X rentals. They love the stickers still on them. So there's a few there. I'm still sort of setting up a pile here. Ones that are worth no more than 15 bucks, which is probably quite a lot of them. I will, oh fuck. I will do some bundles, whether it's like, you know, DX bundles or particular wrestlers have their own tapes, like The Rock was there, got Undertaker. No, that was in Australia, that one. Had that t-shirt. I'll probably keep anything HBK. I used to collect Undertaker stuff, not anymore. And there's a couple of that one. I don't really collect Shawn Michaels as such, but they're my two favourite wrestlers. So like, if these are worth, you know, less than that $10 mark, what I'll do is just do little bundles of The Undertaker and whatnot, trying to move them a bit quicker and get the money back as fast as possible. This is really cool. I'm very happy to get these because they're just fun to go through. For, well, if you like your wrestling or you grew up on your wrestling, if you don't give a shit about wrestling, this is probably the most boring shit you'll ever see. But I'll pull them all up, do a photo, and I just thought I'd show this off because I find this super nostalgic as someone that grew up loving the wrestling in the 90s and the early 2000s. So let's pull these bad boys up. Couple of nice sealed ones there. Got the Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling, the cartoon, Halloween Havoc. And here's the rest. What do you reckon, champions? Should it be okay? Paid a couple of bucks a tape, plus there's a little trade on the side. Some Motu figures went his way, and he gave me a couple of t-shirts, but I'm hoping that this is a pretty good deal. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know if I do no good out of it, but there are going to be some that I probably will just put on the shelf. Shawn Michaels, that is. Quickly went and grab these. Some 3DS games, the Zeldas. Anyone that loves the Zelda franchise would like that. And the red boxed Wii. These can go for good money. I think it's dropped off a bit since I last had one. But having the box is fantastic. You get $100 every single time you just have a console. So it looks like box will go for anywhere between $250. So it's a 25th anniversary, which also had that game test. It's scratched. Perfect. Pristine. So there's other games just to make the bundle worthwhile, which is always good. Charging dock, beautiful, all sorts of stuff. So a bit of Nintendo this morning. I like that. And the old question, you got anything else? Just grabbing some of that stuff, and they did. I've got a couple of consoles out of it. They couldn't find the games. They raided a couple of cupboards, but they've got my number. They're going to get back to me if they can find them. But check this out. Tested them over there. No games there, but they did power up, so that's a start. I'll give them a proper test through here, and hopefully I'll hear from them in the next day or so and get the games. He reckons he had a fair bit of 64 games, but not much Nintendo or NES games, so don't care. Either way, it's $50 for those two consoles, which is, at a guess, $100 each back. So that's a good return. So that's a good little pickup today. I'm pretty happy with that.